Welcome to sunny Colcan. We're just west of Colcan this morning in a paddock Overwatch at Goody's Grain. So this paddock here is, where are we at today? We're at Lancer wheat sown on the 22nd of April. It had 70 mils of rain 7 days after application, after sowing. History of this paddock, it's canola 2 years ago, wheat last year, so this is the second year of wheat. It'll go back to canola next year. It had 100 kilos of a 60-40 MOP urea blend at sowing. It's had 100 kilos of urea top dress 2 weeks ago. And then we'll just see how this season progresses. And if it keeps going the way we're hoping, we'll give it another dose and see if we can chase 5 ton or 4.5 ton. So you can look here, this is our untreated section of Overwatch. We put a tarp down. You can see it's pretty dirty. This farm has got a big history of ryegrass since they purchased it. So Overwatch is a new Group Q herbicide. It's a very visual product. You can see when we walk across to the next section where the Secura is, Nick will put up a couple of slides so you can see what it does. It'll the weeds will emerge, then they'll turn like a bright pink color, and then they'll slowly die after that. So you can see where it went, where it goes. We were lucky in this paddock. This was sown with a flexi-coil and splitter boots. So even with that rainfall, we didn't have a lot of bleaching issues in this crop. But if you don't get your sowing right, and you sow too fast and throw too much dirt across into the next furrow, or you get a heavy rain and it washes into the furrow, you will get some crop effect. So it'll be bleaching and also be yellow, which looks really scary when it first comes out of the ground. It takes a while to get over that. So you just got to be really mindful when we use this product that it has got some issues, but it does work really well. It's been comparable to Secura. It'll do ryegrass and silvergrass. It'll also have a number of broadleaf weeds on the labels. They're still doing a bit of work with that. It has done a really good job on loose strife in this paddock, and also it's all done a pretty good job on some milk thistle and also some prickly lettuce. So you can walk over here a little. We can see here, this is where the Treflan and Overwatch. So we had 1.5 litres of Treflan and 1.25 litres of Overwatch. It's done a pretty good job. It's moved down into the furrow. It's pretty tidy in between the rows compared to where it hasn't been sprayed. So Nicholas just put up a few pictures now as we walk across to the Treflan Secura. So we're just coming across now. So this is some of the damage that you can see earlier on in crop. So you'll see that yellowing on the slides. You can also get some white as well. And this next one you can show that's a fair bit of damage earlier on. It has grown out of it. And you can also see in the background some little pink ryegrasses and weeds coming up. And there we've got some ryegrass. Some of these had a bit of, in between a few rainfall events, the weeds actually got going a bit, but you can still see that the Overwatch has picked up some of those weeds that are, 3-leaf or close to tillering. We've got some pegs out in the paddock for some bigger weeds that we're just monitoring to see how they go during the season, and just to monitor what seed heads end up being viable at the back end of the season. Another ryegrass plant. So you can see the best thing about this product is it is so visual, so you can actually see where it is and how good of a job it's doing.
Toad rush, Nathan, you got any thoughts on that in our wetter areas?
Yeah, in this paddock it hasn't been done too much at all on toad rush, which is a shame. It's done a really good job on the loose strife. but hasn't done much on the toad rush.
Yep.
So we're now into the Treflan Secura. So Nick's going to zoom in again. We'll have a look. You can see here, Treflan Secura. There is the odd ryegrass coming through, and there's also ryegrass coming through in the Overwatch. So far, the inspections and the numbers we're doing, it seems to be on par and comparable to the Treflan Secura. So I think it's going to be a pretty handy tool. It's also registered in barley and canola, although it can be really hard on canola. But it looks to be a really good tool in our in our wheat and our barley.
Any comments on those tolerances, Nath? Wheat a bit more tolerant than barley, or the other way around?
Wheat seems to be a little bit more tolerant to barley, but the barley seems to handle it pretty well, especially if we just be really careful with our sowing operations. I think our barley in that second wheat, that's where it's going to have its big fit in the rotation with Treflan and Secura.
That was my next question. You've done well.
Cool, that's awesome. So
Any questions from the crowd?
We do have a question.
We do have a question.
Will Overwatch.
Just read it. You just say the question. That'd be easier.
Okay. So will Overwatch be standalone or used in a mix with Treflan, etc. from Dennis Tomlinson?
That's probably one thing that we've still got to work out. There is a lot of trials, like these larger scale trials across the district. I think, you'll definitely want to be using as a mix. I think all the work that, Ari and that are doing is that we need to be mindful, and we still need to be mixing and rotating. So I think mixing with it will, hopefully improve the longevity of the product and keep it as a good tool.
Hogweed activity, Nath, you got any thoughts?
Hogweed. There's not really a lot in this paddock, so I haven't seen it. So they'll have a heap of different weeds coming out at the end of this season, hopefully. So, but it looks like it'll be a range of broadleaf weeds, which would be good.
I think it was on the label. I just can't remember myself.